So, I mean, that's why I say it's about learning, it's about developing, right? I'm constantly developing all these parts of myself. My like I'm studying daily, learning, really diving into the issues that I'm interested in. Every day I watch something or read something or listen to a book or anything, something goes into my mind on a day-to-day basis about positive psychology. Right? Every single day. It's part of my morning routine. Every single day I work out, I meditate, I make some food and breakfast for myself and all that shit. And then I listen, like while I'm getting ready for my day and I'm showering, I listen to a book or I listen to a video or like I said, I read something. But every single day I take in some type of information or knowledge about positive psychology. Why? Why do I do that every day? What's up, gang? Oh my gosh. Why is like rice the hardest thing in the world to cook? You know what I'm saying? Like it's rice. You think it'd be so simple. What is good? Kenzar? What is? Living and loving my life, as they say. Hippie hop high. Oh. That was my toaster. What's up, Grind Gang? How you living, baby? It's Monday. It's a Monday. And I wanted to do and ask me anything. How is your day going? What's up? It's Monday. It's the start of a brand new week. Lots of shit going on in our society and around us, but we still have full control over ourselves and our body and our mind and our spirit daily and what we're gonna do. So I ask you today, gang, what are you gonna do? What's today gonna be about for you? I'm going to finish working on some projects that I've been working on. Going to definitely continue doing some studying and some learning and some things that I've been studying on. Particularly, obviously, current event type stuff and ideas. Very interested in education right now. I mean, I'm very interested in education all the time. You know? Like, I think that, like I said, the best way to be helpful to anything or anybody or any situation is helpful to myself or helpful to life. Just like I posted in my stories yesterday, I think it was, it's hard to help if you need help. If you're in a situation where you're looking for help, it's really difficult to be in the situation where you're offering help as well. You see what I'm saying? Really, some would argue it's impossible. You can't give something you don't have. And that could be anything. You know, you can't give money you don't have. You can't give time that you don't have or love that you don't have. You know, I think in order to give something, it requires a certain level of like ownership. Like, here's some of my love. Here's some of my time or money or whatever. You know. So anyways, this idea that serving yourself or getting yourself or taking care of yourself is like a bad thing or a selfish thing, I think is inherently backwards. You know, it's just kind of backwards from true life philosophy. Because like I said, how can I give anything that, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't add up. You can't give zero. What's zero of zero? You know, or what's one of zero? Zero. You know, anything against zero is zero. So, yeah, but you know, so like I said, working on yourself, constantly developing yourself. Taking care of yourself, learning, getting wealthier, you know. On a day-to-day basis, I'm not really into money. You know, I'm not into money per se. For the sake of money, it seems like right now in our society, the way the money circle goes is like you make the money so you can spend the money. You know, it just goes in like a loop. It's like, what do you need money for? Well, so I can buy things. And it's like, well, what are you gonna do with those things? You know, it's like, I don't know. Look for more money so I can buy more things. It's just like this endless loop of just like get money to buy things. But it's only like that kind of endless loop if if you're only caring about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if you only care about yourself and like what you're gonna get and what you're gonna do and how you're gonna be, well then yeah, it gets like this like almost endless self-perpetuating loop of trying to satiate your own self-desire. Now, like I said, again, I don't really have any self-desires like that. Like, sure, I'd like a nice car. Sure, I'd like a bigger house. I don't really need any of those things, though. You know, like I said, those are all nice things. Those are all nice things. But it's not enough for me to be like, you know, it's not going to push me. So what pushes me, though, daily is that I want to help people. I want to help my community. I want to help mental health. I want to give back to, I had a skin disease. You've heard me talk about this. I've had a skin disease in my life. It was called topical steroid withdrawal. And this is a prevalent thing that's happening in our society today where doctors are giving people this steroid cream constantly. They're giving them all kinds of medicines that hurt them more than they help them. But this is one that I've been personally affected by. And so anyways, my point is I would love to raise money and provide research in this area and like kind of bring awareness to this idea of topical steroid withdrawal. Not in the sense of bring awareness to it. Like, I don't really like that. Like, look at this. Like, no, I don't want people to just look at it. But I mean, like, I want to create systemic change in that sense. Like, I want to stop, you know, this steroid cream being pushed out into the world. So I'm trying to raise money for these things. I want to raise money for, you know, like I said, help people. It's just hard for me to help when I lack the resources that are required to help them. And so, you know, we all have things that we care about and that are near and dear to our heart, missions that we want to take on in the world, all types of stuff. And if you're going to be effective at that, you know, you're going to have to start by being the most effective you can be. You know, the strongest you can be, like I said, more wealthy or affluent you can be. I look at this, you know, a lot of times we look at wealth as evil. If you accumulate wealth, then that makes you a bad person. But I think that's an unfair judgment. I think it really depends on what you do with your wealth. You know, like if I amass wealth, but then I like here's a perfect example: Bill Gates, good or bad guy, I don't really know, don't really care per se. But I tell you this is a fact. This man put in like hundreds of millions of dollars, his own dollars, his money, you know, the money that belongs to, just like you have money, you know, everybody has money, but, you know, this man has absorbently a lot of it. What do you think Bill Gates does with all that money? Did you ever ask yourself? I don't know, maybe you know, maybe you didn't do any research, but you ever ask yourself, like, what does a person do with $1 billion? You know, like, why even have $1 billion? Elon Musk, billionaire. He just sent us to space. Single-handedly, might I add. Like I said, no. I mean, the government helped, of course. The government was... But not because he needed the government's help, because the government was like, yo, we want to be a part of this. So it's very interesting, though, like, when you have those types of resources, the types of things that you can enact, the types of programs you can bring forth, the type of reform and change that you can create when you have, say, $30 billion. You know what I'm saying? It's fascinating. Oh, Bill Gates, my point was, this man pretty much single-handedly eradicated polio. So polio was this terrible disease that we were plagued in our society for years and years and years. Dude, who knows how many, hundreds of years. And it's killed like hundreds of thousands of people. And, I mean, for a long time, obviously, we didn't have any type of science or any type of medicine or any type of anything to do anything about polio. I mean, I'm sure we did. It just always takes somebody's focus, you know? Like, you have to sit a scientist down somewhere and say, hey, solve polio for us. Right? So, but, you know, it's funny. You don't ask the scientists to do that. You incentivize the scientists to do that. And so anyways, my point is he used his money to incentivize and to create programs. And so now polio is like 99.9% eradicated or something. They're having a little problem trying to kill off the last of it in the Congo, right? And you can see why, because he has like all these like vaccinations against polio and he's trying to get everybody vaccinated against it, and just whatever he's doing with it. You might be pro or against vaccinations, it's whatever, but they can't get into the Congo. They can't get in there because there's like all these like terrorist organizations and guerrilla warfare happening in the Congo, right? It's just like one of the most unstable countries and economies in the world. And so like anytime they try and send in these UN workers and these like these, you know, doctors and stuff to administer these help for these kids and stuff in polio, they rob them or they beat them up or they steal their trucks and stuff. It's like, it's crazy. And then they just extort them, because they're gangsters, obviously, but it's like, it's cutthroat out there. So that's just the way it goes. But anyways, so it's like, if it wasn't for us slowing him down, he would have killed this horrific disease. You know what I mean? Like, just eradicate it. But that's the kind of shit you can do with $1 billion. With a couple $100, all you can really do is like, what? Make a donation. You like make a donation to your local whatever. And they may or may not take your donation and do whatever they said they were going to do with it or not do with it. Who knows? Who knows, right? But man, if you had $1 billion, you could just, this is what I'm going to do. It's kind of where I've been at with it. Not necessarily $1 billion. I don't know if I'll make $1 billion. $1 billion's a lot of money, and not a lot of people make $1 billion in their lifetime. Who knows how much you make, though? Who knows how much, who's to say what your potential is? You're a human being just like anybody else. So if this guy or gal or dude or anybody can make $1 billion, why couldn't I make it? Why couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, why I'm different? Why I'm not able to get $1 billion? Why I can't make 100 million? Well, I'm too dumb or something. I don't know. Obviously, doesn't seem to take as much intelligence to make that kind of money. I haven't seen, it's not like the smartest motherfuckers in the world or the rich ones, right? So, I mean, some of them, but a lot of dumb motherfuckers are rich too. So, who knows? I'm just saying, right? Like, you can get rich. You can amass resources for yourself in a large quantity. And hi, what's good, baby? I see you guys. I see you in the comments. Thank you. I did cut the hair off. I wanted to keep a clean shaved look, keep it looking right. But I was sandwich meat and feed. What are you talking about, Willis? But yeah, so you can amass this, and that's my point. It is an ask me anything kind of day. I'm just kind of talking to fill space. But if you got a question, shoot it off. I'd love to answer your questions the best of my ability. And I guess I wouldn't really be offering answers. I'm just offering opinions, but I give you my opinion or offer my answer to whatever question you can come up with. I'll come up with an answer. It's a fun little game. It's called Q&A. Thank you, Chronic. I like it too. And Dar, I love you. Truth, always truth. People is an amazing asset. That's a great thing too. You don't even need to amass wealth, honestly. Influence can get a lot of shit done too. Think about how much you can get done as the president of the United States. As compared to being like a bagger at Ralph's. It's not bad to be a bagger at Ralph's. It's not a bad thing, It's just life. So you can do whatever you want in life to make money or to make your life. You do whatever you want. Who cares? You're a bagger, and I'm the president. It doesn't make you like a better person, right? But let's just talk about influence and power and ability to make things happen. What can you do as a bagger at Ralph's? You bag groceries at Ralph's. How much influence do you have? Can you change my country? Can you make a law? Can you petition somebody? Can you expedite something? That's crazy. You can just expedite something. You'd be like, yo, I want this to happen right now. It's fascinating what you can do with that type of influence. But, it's these things that can help you really make huge dividends and huge impacts in the world. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is the way I've started to look at my life. I was so frustrated with all these things that I wish that people would help me with. Like I was talking about with my skin and all these things mental health. I think our society is facing a mental health crisis right now, where we haven't really begun to understand the consequences of all these awesome and amazing tools that we have. Internet, social media. When you really start looking at it, when you take a step back, it's been fun and it's been moving quick and you've been, doing your thing, you're doing your jig, you're putting your peace signs up and you're like that, It's cute. It's been fun. But, if you think about the first gun that was ever made or something, you know what I mean? It was probably cute too. You're like, dang, look at all the potential we have. all this hunting and all these amazing things that we can do with this new weapon that we've created. And so somebody figures out, I can also kill you with this weapon. And it's like, whoa, then all of a sudden, the weapon is kind of dangerous now all of a sudden. It's like, what was actually once was like this great tool to help humanity, grow and just move on and evolve. Now it kind of becomes like this weapon of destruction and tyranny and oppression. And it's scary. It just happens all of a sudden, you just think, you're like, hey, I'm not saying that all guns are bad, right? Guns are, like I said, it was a tool. It's a tool, and it has a use. And you think about the internet now. How old's the internet? Like, how old is the internet in its current form? Sure, the internet's been around since 1970 something, but how long have you just had internet in your living room? I think I remember it was like early 90s. Not the tool so much as the person wielding, right? But that's my point. Why you don't give babies guns? Why you don't give babies guns? It's self-evident, right? They don't know how to use it. They don't know what they're doing with that. You give a baby a gun, it's just extremely dangerous. Extremely. Hell, if I gave a person who's never held or shot or used a gun and I just gave them a loaded AK-47, it's extremely dangerous. Extremely. They don't know what they're doing with it. They don't even know. What does this do? Pow! Oh shit, I didn't know. Killed my mom. It's just a lot of power. Let's talk about the internet. Now the internet comes along. It's this beautiful tool. It's connected you to so many things and so much life and so much. It's just changed everything. Changed everything in a way that very little things have changed society so far. This could very well turn out to be one of the greatest, and by greatest I don't mean like best, but I just mean one of the most pivotal turning points in history was this move into the digital age, this move into the internet age. If you study history, you study things like that, like the Enlightenment period came about and like the Industrial Revolution. You could literally be living in the beginning of a new revolution, and this might be a scary word right now, but I'm just saying a new evolving of the internet, right? And we're seeing how it plays out in our society, in our world. And we might not have been prepared. If I'm just thinking, if we're just being honest, here it comes and it splashes, and we might now be starting to see how this magnificent tool, if not wielded properly, as somebody else said in here, if not used with a certain level of care, might turn out to be a very detrimental and destructive tool in our society. And we just don't know yet. It's only been 25, 30 years? Less than. It's been about, like I said, I think I was already I was about 8 or so, 9 years old. Maybe older, maybe 10. But when the internet was around, when I was I just run downstairs in my living room and get on the internet. And so that was 20 years ago or something like that. 20 years ago. Now today where the internet is my entire life today, actually, all of a sudden in a pandemic and a coronavirus, I live my entire life through this mechanism. I get my groceries from it. I talk to people from it. I do everything with it. It's literally taken over. And I just don't think we have enough science, enough data, enough time with this to find out if this is a good or a bad thing, I guess is where I'm trying to get at. And so, why is that important? Okay? Or why am I talking about that? Because like I said, I believe in mental health. I think that this is why it's all that much more important that we work on ourselves as people and how developed we are, how smart we are, how fast we are, how strong we are, how happy we are, how just in control we feel of ourselves. A lot of us haven't even figured out how to use our spirit, mind, and body, let alone how to use the entire world's spirit, mind, and body. So I think that that's super. Chad, my bro. Big Tap in the house, boy. Living and loving your life, I hope. And so, I don't think we're putting enough time and energy into that right now. I don't think that we're putting enough resources into the developing of ourselves as human beings, as people. We're putting a hell of a lot of resource and time into this thing called the internet, but to us as ourselves is I don't know. And so I think that as we continue on, that's going to become more and more important. This like idea of who am I and what am I doing as a person, as a spirit, mind, and body, myself, detached away from the rest of the conglomerate, right? But the more we become interconnected, the more we feel we are everybody in the camera. We're everybody on the internet. You are all, you know what I mean? Like, my life is your life. Your life is my life. Not so much we're sharing our lives. Remember? Like, this is just sharing. This isn't like, give you my life. This isn't, hey, everybody hijack my life from me. This is me and you sharing our lives together. And that should be like it should be a process in which I think we should put more thought into how that affects us as people. You know, this constant exchanging. And so I'm excited to see how that progresses in the future. But, you know, money, not money, but, you know, not just money, but influence. We talked about influence too, but how these resources can create those types of change, you know? And I really care. I care so much about mental health. Like you know, you can tell how much I care. I come on here every day and I talk about it. Every day, every single day. You see what I'm saying? Like, every single day. I make stories about positivity and mental health and how important it is. And when it's not the hot topic, here I am preaching, talking, promoting the idea of positive psychology. When it's the sauciest of the ideas, I'll be out here. You know, when it's not even the fun thing to say, like when nobody really wants to hear about positive psychology, here I am. Positive psychology, just putting it out there. And why? Why am I constantly, day in and day out, putting out this? Because I care about it so much, and I want to see change in this so much that every day I dedicate my being, my person, to the seeing of that coming to fruition, including the pursuit of economic gain. I'm constantly trying to make more money, essentially, right? I'm trying to better my financial position. And you say, why? Is it because I'm a bad guy? Is it because I'm this evil, malicious, tyrannical, right? Is it because I'm trying to take over the world that I want all this money? No, actually not. It's not at all. I want to help people with mental health. I want to promote positive psychology. I want to help people who have skin diseases like I had, and they suffered like I suffered. It's funny that suffering in me gives me the passion, the drive, the motivation. But it wasn't suffering that somebody else told me about. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't suffering that you went through, that you convinced me that I needed to take on. It's suffering that I experienced, and that I have now taken on a mission and myself, self-motivated, to end that type of suffering in the world. I wouldn't expect you to understand, you know? I wouldn't expect you to take on skin or even positive psychology as your lifelong mission, because I'm sure there's something that you've been affected by, or there's something that you care deeply about that you want to see brought forth into the world. You want to see changed, or, you know, there's all kinds of things that you want to see come out into the world. You want to see your dreams come out into the world. You want to see your kids come out into the world and grow up to be happy. You know, you want things. I wouldn't expect you to want what I want. That's just, I wouldn't expect that. But here I am, you know. More research, because I can reach more lives. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. Because I can talk to more people about positive psychology. I can just do so many things that I'm already doing. That's a really interesting point too, is that I'm already doing them, you know. But if I had resources, then I could do them on a greater scale. But I love this. I love doing it with no resources too, because then it teaches me. Like, you know, that's another thing, is like, what if you had all the resources but you didn't know what to do with them? You know? Like, again, what if I gave you the best weapon in the world but you didn't know how to use it? You know? So I gave you $1 billion, but if you don't know what you're doing, then it doesn't actually necessarily help either. So, I mean, that's why I say it's about learning, it's about developing, right? I'm constantly developing all these parts of myself. My intelligence, like I'm studying daily, learning, really diving into the issues that I'm interested in. Every day I watch something or read something or listen to a book or anything, something goes into my mind on a day-to-day basis about positive psychology. Right? Every single day. It's part of my morning routine. Every single day I work out, I meditate, I make some food and breakfast for myself and all that shit. And then I listen, like while I'm getting ready for my day and I'm showering, I listen to a book or I listen to a video or like I said, I read something. But every single day, I take in some type of information or knowledge about positive psychology. Why? Why do I do that every day? Well, I already told you because I care so fucking much about positive psychology. And how could I help you be more positive in your psychology if I don't know anything about positive psychology? How can I help anybody in positive psychology if I don't have the facts, I don't have any information, I don't have any, I gotta know that subject. I can't, like I said, I can't give you something I do not have. So how can I give you positive psychology if I know nothing about positive psychology? And so here I am, day in, day out, grind gang. No matter what goes on. And some people are mad at me for that, and I understand. I love you. I know. You're like, Rod, God damn it, man. You're always with the same shit. You're always just only caring about yourself. You only care about you and what you're doing. You're selfish. I say, you're goddamn right I am. I'm selfish as fuck. Really, the reason I'm selfish is not because I don't care. That's not why you're mad. You're mad because I don't care about you. Which I get. I mean, you want people to care about you. But who do you want to care about you, right? You want everybody to care about you? You want the entire single planet, every single person on the planet from here to Timbuktu, you want to care about you? And me? And what I'm doing over here? Every day, I ask myself, how come nobody else cares? You know what I mean? I'm seeing how imperative it is that we learn positive psychology principles. Like, I mean, I'm over here, like, I've done the research. I'm looking at the data. I mean, I'm seeing it manifesting in my world daily. And every day I'm like, y'all, it is imperative. It is so vital that we understand positive psychology. Every day. You care. Thanks. And that's why I appreciate you guys, right? Because you care. Everybody doesn't care. Not yet. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll never care. I don't know. But I wouldn't expect it to, because it's not your mission. I don't make other people care. I don't really care who else cares out here about positive psychology. That's why I'm caring. Like, I actually don't need you to care. Because that's why I'm raising $1 billion. That's why I'm out here fighting daily. That's why I'm out here studying daily. That's why I'm out here putting out videos and contents daily about this topic. I hope what I'm trying to get across is coming across that if you want something in the world, you make it. You go out and you make that for yourself. Whatever you want to see. I want to see it. I want to see positive psychology, really important. I wish that every school had a class. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild that you went to 12 years of mandatory education? And nowhere in that 12 years of mandatory education did anybody think, hey, maybe we should teach these people about positive psychology. Did anybody get a class on that? Did you? I didn't. Never got that class. That class is 1,000% missing in my curriculum. This idea of how one goes about taking care of their own personal mental health and stability. That conversation does not prevail in my community ever. Okay? So what you gonna do, Rod? You're outraged. Because I'll tell you what, I'm outraged. It doesn't exist in my community. I want it to exist. So what am I going to do? What are you going to do? Right? Like, what are you going to do about the things that you want to see out in the world? I don't know what you want to see. What do you want to see? You got kids? You want to see them better educated? You broke right now? You want to see more people not be broke. I don't know what you want to see, but you want to see something, just like I want to see something. So what are you going to do? Yes, so what are you going to do? And I got all kinds of different options. I could lobby, right? You could lobby. That's a way that you could, get your point across. You could lobby, which I would say a lot of people are lobbying today. There's people who are lobbying with their money or their voice or whatever. But essentially a lobbyist, if you know what a lobbyist is, anybody does, this is somebody who is very influential, either because they're backed by money or they're backed by a lot of other people. And then they convince politicians and people in power to do what they want, or to essentially take care of their special interest. That's a lobbyist. And these lobbyists could be anybody. Walmart is a lobbyist. They're a part of what's called a super PAC. And those super PAC is like, hey, we're Walmart and the meat corporation and so, and we all have this collective interest. We would all like to see meat prices be XYZ or whatever. And so they'll go and they'll lobby their politicians and things to get the laws the way that they want them. So I could do that. I could organize. I could, get all you guys to sign petitions or whatever and things and take those to my politicians and be like, hey, you need to fix this, right? I could. And and some would say I should, right? And I could see why we would think that would be an effective course of action. But I have a problem with that fundamentally. I personally have a problem with that just because, like I said, how many times I've been through this where I've like, hey, I really need you to care about this thing that I care about right now. I need your help. And you know how many times that those people did not help me? They did not show up in the way that I was hoping they would or needed them to. Have you ever been there? Have you ever needed somebody so bad? You need them. You really need them. Your mom. This could be your mom. This could be your friend. This could be your husband or your wife or anything. But you need somebody to show up for you in your life for whatever reason. Come pick you up from a football game. Or, you're going through a hard time. You just need somebody to hold you, right? But everybody's been in a position in their life sometime where they needed somebody else to come through for them. And what happened? They didn't fucking show up. They didn't come through. And you needed it. You needed them more than anything. You needed them to show up. You needed them to get it right. And do they? No. Why? Because they hate you? No. They don't care, right? Why? Because they're evil? No. It's because they're human. And what do humans care about? What do humans care about more than anything under the sun? What do humans care about more than anything under the sun? Somebody said it. I'm just waiting for it to come up. But just in case they didn't, themselves. Right? It's human nature. This is human. You care more about yourself than you care about anything else. Right? This is life. This is not themselves. There you go, Darshina. This is not morality. This is not good versus bad. This is not by default. Thank you. Absolutely. There's a mechanism in your brain that requires you to think about your self-survival first. Now, you might have a mechanism in your brain that will override that. Some people have it, some people don't. You'll find out if ever somebody throws a grenade in a room and you're standing in, you'll quickly find out if you're one of those people who overrides that or does not. But that's not something that you can know ahead of time. I love it. Oh, I take a bullet for you. The fuck you will. Hey, the fuck you will, okay? Let me tell you something. You know how easy it is to say the words, I will take a bullet for you? Do you know how incredibly difficult it is to take the actions of taking a bullet for somebody else? Like, think about the actual ramifications of this. They die or you die. Are you really going to pick yourself? Now, I like to think I am, but again, I'm not naive. I don't know. I've never been put in the situation where it was my life or somebody else's life. But I like to think, we all like to think we're good people and that we would choose the other. But overwhelmingly, I'm sure that if you put people in that actual situation, they choose themselves. Why? Because again, that's just how life works. That's just nature. So, happens sometimes. That you need somebody there because you need them there because it's your reality in which that you're depending on this person, but then they don't show up. And so what do? Do I just keep begging this? What if this person consistently doesn't show up for me? Consistently. Like, you consistently asked your husband not to cheat on you, but they consistently keep cheating on you anyways. And you've been polite, and you've thrown temper tantrums. You've done everything under the sun to get your husband to do what you want them to do. What do? Well, you would leave, of course. And so in this analogy, you're like, yeah, leave. Leave my politicians. Okay, leave them. And go where? Where are you going to go? Right? What are you going to do? And so that's what I started asking myself. I started really asking myself all these questions. I care so much. The people I want to care are not caring. I continue to ask them to care and they won't care. So what should I do? It's funny how when somebody doesn't listen to you or doesn't care, but you think you can make them care. Like if let's use the same analogy I was using. Your husband's a fundamentally broken cheater. Like he cheats not because it's just, maybe he's a sex addict. Maybe he has some type of like disease or whatever. Does it matter how many times you ask him to stop? Please, you're hurting me. Every time you cheat on me, you're hurting my feelings. They don't care. So they don't care, then what do you think you're gonna care? You gonna care? Hey, I'm gonna punch you in the face till you care. Punch you in the face till you care. Hey, you better start caring right now. Is that gonna make somebody care or not? I'll tell you what it will do. It'll make somebody pretend to care. That's true. Torture, right? Torture, we've seen that. I've seen that in like, torture will make people pretend to care. Pretend to tell you things, pretend to do stuff for you. Yeah, sure. You can buy people's pretend care by punching them in the face, sure. Just whatever I got to do to get you to stop punching me in the face, right? But as soon as you stop punching me in the face, what am I do? What I always do, because I don't actually care. It's just this weird little cycle that we're going in. So what do I do? You can see how one can get frustrated in their grind, You can see how one could be very, very upset. It's a frustrating process of trying to get something done in the world, right? Trying to get your thing. Yeah, shit. Every day I'm trying to make $1 billion. You know how difficult that shit is? You know how much time and effort it is requiring on me on a daily basis. Every single day. Time, effort, energy. It's a lot. It's a lot. But it's necessary. I love that job. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to fight for mental health out here. I don't know if you guys are going to do it, but I know I am. Right? It's my calling. It's my mission. It's my mission in life. It's my purpose. My purpose is to help you with positive self-psychology. Now, the sucky part about that is I'm only one human being, so I just can only do so much. You know what I mean? Like, if trying to raise, millions upon millions of dollars for my cause and daily action on my cause isn't enough. You know what I mean? But if I'm doing all that, I just don't have a lot of time for your cause and the cause of the United States and the cause of these bananas or those oranges. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing this thing here. I'm doing this thing. There's a million things to do out here. You know how many problems we got out here? It's crazy though. You know how many people we got out here too though? It's like, what? If everybody just grabbed the problem. Everybody grab a problem off the shelf and get to work. It's amazing. It would be amazing. I personally believe if everybody just, grabbed a problem off the shelf and said, this is going to be my life. My life is going to be about this problem. What are you doing over there, Bob? Well, my life is about saving the ocean. Get it, Bob. If I have anything I can do to help you, Bob, I'm over here. All right, well, yeah, you could donate to this or you can come out to my thing. Hey, I'll be there, Bob. And then Bob be like, I really need you to come out to my thing. Bob, I would love to, but I'm just so busy over here trying to help black people. And then, I understand the dolphins need your help and you should continue to help them. And when I can, I will come over there and help you. But right now, I'm helping black people. You know, I tell you what, Bob, you stop what you're doing over there and you come help me with the black people. How about that? And Bob's over here like, well, but I mean, 6 months ago, I was trying to get you to stop doing the thing you was doing over there to come help me with the dolphins. You didn't come help, so why am I supposed to stop and do? It's just confusing, right? It's just confusing. I just found it to tie me up too much. It just tied me up too much. It just left me with a lot of inaction, is what it left me with. This constant looking around for you to help me and them to help me and that guy to come be a part of my mission and all this, like, you know, it's just like, yo, and all that effort, I just make the money myself. I just make the money myself and I just end the shit myself. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Right? All right, fine. This is how we do it. All right, I'll start the business and I'll create the resources and I just put, you know what? I don't know how much I put into it. But right now, I always put in whatever I got. So right now, all I got is time and effort and energy. So I put that in. But, you know, next time I make $100, you know, whatever, $100 laying around. Not really into Gucci purses. Not really into 800 vacations a year. So I put that shit into it. You know? Now, maybe you are into 800 vacations a year, right? Maybe that's your steez. Your mission in life, that's crazy because that's the funny thing about missions, right? Like the whole conversation we said, I can't force my mission on you. I can't make you see my mission. I don't know what you, maybe your thing out here is to take care of your 5 family members. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people in our society whose mission and only mission in life is to raise their kids. You trying to tell me that's like a illegitimate mission? You telling me that's not like a legit mission to try and see this kid grow up happy and healthy and equipped and prepared to live their own life? Is that a worthy mission in society, or yes or no? I would say it is. It might not be worthy to me, but it's damn sure worthy to that kid. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad you're taking care of that kid because guess what? I got my own kid and I've got time to be tearing about your kid too. So thank God that you've made your life about taking care of your kid. Like, thank God, right? Because, like, God forbid everybody just stop taking that on as a mission. Because then who's going to take that on as a mission, right? Oh, well, then there's just another problem out there that somebody's going to have to round up all the homeless kids and figure out, you see what I'm saying? This idea that it should be a prevailing idea in your life. This idea that you have time, or that you're just, you know, that you just, everybody's just hanging out doing nothing. What's everybody doing? Just waiting for a problem. I don't got nothing to do. I'm bored. Just sitting here chilling. Bored in the house and I'm in the house, bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house, bored. Oh, problem? Ah! Da-da-da-da! Here I come to save the day! Like, what are you talking about, dog? You bored in the house. You just be bored in the house. You know what I mean? Your mission wasn't any of this. You didn't care. You're bored in the house. Which is okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. But my point is, maybe if more of us had this mentality, I'll just say more, we wouldn't think that everybody was just sitting around doing nothing. Sitting around just waiting to fuck you. Why is Bob fucking you? Because he hates me. No, Bob's fucking you because he's over here trying to save dolphins. You don't care about dolphins, so you should be appreciative of Bob, that Bob cares about dolphins. Because if he didn't, well then you would. And do you want to care about dolphins? No, you don't even like dolphins. Who gives a fuck? Is it because dolphins are bad? No. It's because dolphins are stupid? No. Because dolphins are somehow an inferior animal to tigers? No, just different. Just, I like stripes and you like smooth skin. So you're taking care of dolphins and I'm over here taking care of tigers. Every now and then I care about dolphins. You know what I mean? Like I said, trust me, if I could do anything, if I could just throw some over there, well, I will. I mean, I gotta get in a tissy. You know? Like I said, this idea that everybody's just, you know, sitting around, I wonder where everybody's getting that idea from. The only thing I can think of is that you're getting that idea from your own life. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's getting this idea from their own life. It's like, everybody does what I do. Right? Like, you are the world. You're only having you're only living your experience. You're not living my experience or anybody else's experience. So you only really know the world the way you know it. And so a lot of our worldview is built off of what we do. How we see the world is how we see, and this is why everybody's fighting, because you don't see the world the way I see the world because you're different than me. Well, yeah, I mean, true. But nonetheless, you see the world a certain way. That's your filter. And so you usually think about, that's why I tell people all the time when people are like, yeah, people out here are mean. I'd be like, you must be a mean person then. Because like, I don't see how you see that in everybody. You know what I mean? Like how you see just mean in everybody. I see beauty in everybody. Why? Well, because I see beauty in myself too. So it's like, you know, if you see mean in everybody, I can only imagine you probably see mean in yourself too. People who constantly think other people in the world are always talking shit about them, right? Why do you think you always think that? Am I really? Is anybody actually ever talking shit? Like, I ain't got time to be talking about it. Like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing on a day to day. Like I just said, I'm too busy doing my own thing. I don't got time to be worried about, but we think that, oh, he just laughed at me. Oh, these people over here are making fun of me and stuff. These people over here are talking about some shit that happened 2 weeks ago at the club that you had, they don't even know you. And you over here making it all about you, right? This is how we do. This is how we do. So all I can think is that everybody is sitting around, or a lot of people, I'm not going to say everybody, right? Don't you just, when people are like, everybody, always, never happens. Always doesn't always happen. It just doesn't make any sense. So, but a lot of people are just sitting around, they're not doing anything, they're just waiting for a fire to pop up, and then they all just jump on the fire, and then they like, go back to just doing nothing. That seems to be the problem, right? Is that a lot of people seem to think that everybody's just sitting around doing nothing. And then the problem comes and everybody jumps up on the problem, but then everybody goes back to doing nothing. That's why everybody's like available for your problem, I guess is what, you know what I mean? Like, every time I have a problem in positive psychology, I automatically assume everybody else is too busy to give a fuck. Because they are. They're too busy trying to get famous on Instagram, or too busy trying to make money, or take care of their kids, or come up in the world, or feed their dog, or whatever it is that you do to live life. You know what I mean? But you're busy doing it. I can assure you that. I know that part. You are busy as fuck trying to do whatever it is you're doing. I get it. I know. Me too. So, it might be the way we're living our life, that we are sitting around like this without a mission that we're daily grinding on, and that we're so hyper-focused on that we don't have this time and energy. A lot of us do have nothing but time and energy. We're just all sitting around waiting for some shit to pop off, and then we muster up all our care as it's been flared up around us. Our care comes out, and we're like, I care. Look at this. I'm being shown something that's going to trigger my care, of course. Because you have care, so of course it's going to trigger your care. And then you're like, oh, my empathy is being reached in. You know, somebody's going to yank your empathy out on you. And then they're going to throw it into their mission. Because I'll tell you what, like you said, just like anything, right? Every mission needs what? I'm going to need resources. So I need influence. So I need you to believe what I'm saying. I need you to believe that positive psychology is the most important thing facing us right now. Why do I need you to think that? Because I need your influence, right? Duh. Or I need your money. But we need resources. We all need resources. So we're all constantly trying to recruit people to our side. So my point is, I don't care about dolphins, right? Like, personally, they're cute and they're cuddly and they're beautiful animals. But like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you like them. People like them. But, you know, I don't own a dolphin. It's not like a pet dolphin of mine. But if you show me a video of a gigantic shark just mauling dolphins, or better yet, show me a video of dolphins just lined up on the beach dead, like 100 dolphins just lined up on the beach dead. Now all of a sudden I care tremendously about the dolphins. Like, I didn't even care 10 seconds ago, but now all of a sudden it's like I can't stop caring about the dolphins. It's ridiculous. I mean, look at the carnage that is happening to dolphins. Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? We're always constantly trying to pull that empathy from people because we need to. This is an important part of life. This is an important part of exchange, right? But it's a sharing process. It is 100% a share. Like I said, I can't force you to care. I can't make you care. I can only entice you to care. Hope that you care. Maybe inspire you to care is what I'm really trying to do, because if I can inspire you to care, well then maybe you'll care even when I'm not around. Like, you'll know why you care, and you'll care because you actually care, and then you'll actually do things that are effective with care, you know? This is a big part of my book. It's a huge part of my book. It's the first thing I wrote down on the board from my book stuff is actually care. And this was far before anything was going on in the world. So, but that was part of my book. Actually care. And what does that mean, to actually care? How do you know I care about my child? How do you know that about me? Is it because I said I care about my child? If I tell you I care about my child, does that mean I do? Does that mean that when I turn this off, I don't go over there and burn her with cigarettes? Or not feed her for 5 days? Or walk out on her, leave her behind? Or anything like that? Right? You see my kid, you see me, and we're interacting, and you see this constant loving exchange. You see I'm sitting in my home, where my daughter lives, and every day I work, and I make money, and I sacrifice my time. I give her things that I want. Like, I wanted to buy things, but instead of me being able to buy the things, I sacrifice those things that I wanted to buy so that my child can have things too. But you see how my care is self-evident. Like, even if I didn't tell you it, maybe I told you I don't care about my kid. But if you see me making these sacrifices constantly and doing things that are detrimental to me and my own survival so that I can see her life enriched, right? But now, like I said, it's actual care. So, can you just do that on Christmas? Can I just kick the door in once a year on Christmas and bring a bunch of gifts in and run in? Here, babe, I got you all these things to show you I care. And then leave for the rest of the year? Is that actual care? Is it? It's not. It's not, right? That's fake care. That's pretending to care. You're not a dad who actually... Like, how are you going to say you care 1 day out of 365? See, care is not something that you can pretend. But people do. They try and pretend that all day. I watch fathers, mothers try and step into their kid's life 2 weeks out of the year. They only want to come to their life when their kid does something wrong. You need to quit doing that. Blah, blah, blah. And then the rest of the time, they fuck their kid. They don't even pay attention to their kid. It's like, what, you think you somehow, you show you care? There's a lot of crackhead moms out here who be like, I care about my kids. They're pumping themselves full of drugs while their kids are sitting on the couch doing nothing. Fuck, all the money's going to the drug, and they say, well, I care about I could have given them up for adoption or something. I could have abandoned my kids. Is that care? They say they care. They did. They made a sacrifice, right? They didn't give the kid up for welfare. Is that care, though? Care is self-evident, right? You know this in your own life. How do you know who cares about you right now? How do you know who actually cares about you? Well, because you know. Because there are people who are always there for you. No matter what. Even when it's inconvenient for them to be there, they show up anyways. You see what I'm saying? Even when it's really difficult for them, they make sacrifices. They make sacrifices for you. They don't just say, you know what I mean? Care is not something that you just, hey, I care about you. You have my care. Care. Here's my care. That's not care. I care. I see you, I care. That's not care. That doesn't provide care for anyone. But if you actually care, which I can't make you do. Just like, you can't make your mom be a good mom, right? Like as a child, you can't force your mom to be a good mom. You want her to. You need her to. You really need her to. You don't even want her to. You need your mom to be a good mom. But has everybody's mom showing up for them? I'm blessed to know that mine did, but I've seen plenty of my friends out here whose mom did not show up for them at all. It did not care about them at all, right? They pretended to care, sure, but my friends are very aware of the fact that their mom only pretended to care. They're not somehow yeah, I have the best caring mom ever because she sent me a postcard one time and told me. But that's how care is enacted in our society today, though, right? I guess so, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? It's fact. But this is us, though. This is us right now. This is us in our society. If you care, put up an Instagram post. If you care. If you care, you put that Instagram post up. Tell you what, I'll put the Instagram post up. I put up 100 Instagram posts. Better yet, I'll do you one better. I'll make a whole account just full of Instagram posts. Nothing but Instagram posts. Would that help? Would that be care? Would you know I care about mental health if I made an Instagram that had a bunch of mental health quotes? Would that let you know I care about mental health? Not really. You just be another account out here with a bunch of fucking quotes on it. Right? Because it's not actual care. If I go out and I tell everybody else they should care about you, is that care? If I go and I beg other people to care, is that me caring? Maybe. I mean, some would say yes. I would say it's ineffective care, but I mean, sure, some people would say it's care. You know? Hell, it's a little bit more care than the Instagram post, right? And that's what we're fighting about. It's like, well, I did this, and you didn't. All you did was put up the post. You didn't even put up the post, so you're not even really caring. And then it's like, then there's people who don't care. And then those people are bad because they don't care. See how we're using this word in our society? They don't care. No, I care. Just don't care about that. I care about this. Doesn't mean I don't care. Doesn't mean I'm evil. Doesn't mean I'm mean. Doesn't mean anything. It just means this is what I care about and this is what I'm fighting for. Just like you're over there fighting for whatever you care about and dream about and wish about and hope about and are optimistic about in your life, right? This is life. This is how we manage our lives. This is how we get through our lives, right? This is how we actually enact care for the ones we love. We don't fake it. We don't pretend. We don't do it sometimes. That's why it's called passion. That's why it's called drive. That's why it's called a mission. A mission. In the military, when you have a mission, you don't, nobody's paying attention, so that's just, different mission. You know what I mean? Like the military doesn't set up some type of, we're going to go in here and get Osama bin Laden or some shit, and halfway through, be like, new mission. Halfway there, they're like, oh, some over there instead. Never mind, let's just go get that. No, this is the mission, right? Now, we might scrub this mission. We might reevaluate all our missions and all that stuff and establish a whole new mission head, but we don't just halfway through a mission abandon a mission and then just turn on to a whole new mission, because that's not actually a mission, right? That means you're just running around with a gun. That's not effective. That's not effective warfare. Me just running around the jungle aimlessly with a gun, shooting at anything that shoots at me. Right? Love you. I love you. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Today, you can ask me questions. You can ask me anything you want. I just really wanted to come on here and be with people. Just wanted to be with people. I feel like a lot of people right now are all kinds of things. Angry, lost, sad. Some people are still extremely happy, but they feel guilty for being happy. There's all kinds of stuff happening out here in the emotional world. And as somebody who truly cares about your emotional stability and the emotional stability of everybody in my community, I wanted to be out here for you just in case you needed some help getting your own emotional stability together, So, I love you. And just like I said, remember that this is your life. You are a part of a country. You're a part of a family. You're a part of a state. You're a part of organizations. You're a part of a race. You're a part of a team. You're a part of all different types of little segregations and divisions and titles and labels. You fall into all these little different categories, and you care about those things and those people, as you should. But you gotta ask yourself, what is care? And if I really care, because if you really care, then really make those sacrifices for it in your life today and tomorrow and the day after that, and make it your mission. Make it your life. If you really, really care, make it your life mission. And if you're already on a life mission, then that's great. Every now and then look up and see if you can help somebody else along the way. But I would encourage you to stay focused on your mission, because the world is going to need you to solve that problem. Because the problem that you're focusing on or paying attention to or care about is not going away just because another problem came about. right? That problem's going to exist just like any problem's going to exist if you continuously shove it aside for other problems, okay? So whatever your idea is, whatever your issue is, and this could be anything, it could be one of these problems in your own personal life, or your community, or your family, or your state, or your nation, or your country, or your world, or whatever, narrow in on it, and grind gang. Grind gang. Day in, day out, every single day, consistently. Why? Because those people need you. Your mission. It's your mission. I love you so much.